Fox Business Alert, we covered this a lot. Commercial airports got turned upside down due to restrictions caused by the government shutdown. But while that was happening, private travel soared. FlexJet, a luxury private jet company, saw a 20% year-over-year increase in flights by its users in the first 2 weeks of November. The major airlines have since resumed normal operations, but that strong demand for private travel is expected to continue into the holiday season and maybe beyond as a new cohort of wealthy consumers is reclassifying their meaning of luxury. FlexJet CEO Mike Silvestro joins us now in a Fox Business exclusive from FlexJet headquarters in Cleveland. Love me some Cleveland. Love Cleveland. And you know, you've got this vantage on the latest travel trends, Mike. I mean, when did you first start seeing an uptick in bookings that you could correlate to the government shutdown?
Well, Liz, it's probably been about 3 or 4 weeks when the uncertainty started to increase a bit. You know, the uncertainty in commercial travel for those who balance a little bit of private aviation flying and commercial flying, I think they flocked to FlexJet because of the certainty. So it's probably been about 3 or 4 weeks since we've seen an uptick.
Okay, so what makes you think that it will go beyond these 2 weeks? I mean, these past 2 weeks, that's a huge jump, isn't it? 20% year over year?
Well, actually, Liz, I would tell you that, you know, we start our Thanksgiving travel period. Our 10-day period starts tomorrow and runs through the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Our year-over-year bookings are twice what our first 2 weeks of November were. We're approaching a 40% increase year over year in pre-bookings for that same 10-day period this year versus last.
And now that commercial airports have normalized, you're not seeing a market move to people saying, you know what, I'll pay first class because it's a little less than a FlexJet price?
Well, I would tell you that I think the majority of our customers who utilize commercial travel as a supplement to their private happen to do so primarily on long-haul international flights. So for the most part, if you're a FlexJet flyer domestically, you're pretty much flying with us. And when you choose to do commercial, you're kind of taking that, you know, Chicago to Paris kind of trip. So for the domestic point of view, we see everybody staying pretty consistent with us.
Pretty consistent with you. You know, people are always asking me, what do you think it is to fly private, let's just say to New York, from New York to Miami round trip? So we know that we kind of looked just quick back of the envelope checking here. We looked and we saw the Delta first class round trip, $2,557. So FlexJet, and again, this is using a light jet. You have all kinds of jets. So some are the bigger, fancier, more expensive ones. FlexJet light jet, which is $7,000 an hour, I believe, works out to about $42,000 for a round trip to Miami. I know it's not exact because there are a bunch of other fees here and there, but that's a big difference, is it not? How do you convince people to go with FlexJet?
Well, I would tell you, you never convince anybody to fly privately. They have to kind of make that decision on their own. But once they decide to fly this way, then there are a number of reasons why we're winning more than our fair share of business. Obviously, you know, the number one thing is time. You know, we just were recipients of a very strategic investment by LVMH, and they're the preeminent luxury company in the world. And they have figured out that the ultimate luxury is time. Followed by wellness and experiences. And so if you think about what we offer at FlexJet, no one could create more than 24 hours in a day, but the time along with the luxurious experiences and the ease and the comfort is really an unmatched experience. So that's why people are flying so much with us.
And by the way, so how many people does a light jet seat?
Seven. A typical seats. Then you kind of go up to the next class is 8, and then you can get all the way up to 15.
So that's how it starts to look like a better bet, I think, because you're spreading it across what you would have had to pay round trip, you know, $2,500. I mean, when you look at it, say, from New York to San Francisco or Silicon Valley, it jumps exponentially. Maybe we can put that one up too, but it's more with a 7 print, like $70-something thousand. Can we show that graphic, please? So we can compare. Thank you. $70,000 for a FlexJet, but spread through 7 people. If you can get your family of 4 and 3 other people who want to hop on, it makes a little bit more sense.
Well, it never really crosses. If you ever are looking for it to make, like to try to get that number to be exact, it really never works out that way. There's always intrinsic value of enjoying the ride, being able to, if you're in a business setting, you sort of have a conference room en route, right? You're being very, very productive. And again, as I shared with you, one of the major trends we've seen is a younger audience that is flying privately, and that younger mindset, that psychographic, really values experiences. And so rather this just enduring the trip to Miami or Silicon Valley from New York, they're enjoying the ride with FlexJet as part of the journey, part of the experience.
Well, like you're saying, it's really a change maybe in demographic taste. So the younger demographic that's inheriting some money from their boomer parents, let's be honest here, they'd rather spend the money not on things but on comforts and flight. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, Liz, I tell you, the three trends that I've seen in a major way are younger, larger, and longer. So our early entrant now, our first-time entrance is 10 years younger than he or she was, say, 25 years ago. And that psychographic age group, that 40-something-year-old, really values the experiential part of private flying, including at FlexJet, our private terminals, our cabin servers who have been trained in a training academy, our dedicated crew modeling where you see the same crew on a tail number. All those things play into why FlexJet is experiencing such exponential growth.
Well, congratulations on the LVMH investment there. I think it's really, really interesting. You're right. It's certainly the luxury part of it. Berkshire Hathaway owns NetJets. There's Wheels Up. There are a lot of these companies that are out there, but to get that partner is really important. It's good to see you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Let's take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
And you too. And